Yo, what's up? So, this is Turbo. I'm just gonna go ahead and do something real quick. This is something that I kind of picked up that was a little bit of an oddity when it comes to the premise of speedrunning this game. So, for those of you that are familiar or unfamiliar, you can do quests, like side quests that are not associated with the major quests of this game.
All right.
And what those do is they'll give you additional experience, gold, and skill points for completing them inside of the game.
To weaken the dragon, and then defeat it to restore
And
power to
the thing that I noticed when I was actually playing around with this was that, so like these are my quests on my main character. I haven't done all of them, but these are the ones that I've gotten rid of, like completed them. So, like, just taking one, for example, we have Help the Honey Buzzards. Probably, like, there's a bunch of early game ones that might be more relevant for this, and you'll see what I mean as I continue with this video. But basically, these are ones that I've completed. These are ones that I have not. And what I was noticing is that once you complete a quest on any character, it seems that you can complete the quests on other characters without actually completing them, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is on my main character. I've completed some of the quests that are possible for it. Now, if I go back to the inn, I'm going to go ahead and make a fresh character. Rather, I'm going to make a fresh level 15 character, which is something that you can do.
Let's do this.
I'm sure everybody's kind of familiar with this principle. Yeah, whatever.
Let's do
Take a
this.
5. Sure, Jason. Why not? So we're going to start him off at level 15.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go ahead and pick him.
I'm ready for this.
We're going to not begin the tutorial. And we're going to leave the tavern. So normally at level 15, you have access to your
need the
normal
9
allotment of
talismans
skill
to
points at
defeat
level
the
15.
dragon.
But this was something that I noticed when I was kind of
Samuel
figuring
says
out things
he
and
said
kind of
he gives you
routing
a,
for the
if
game.
you feel like
Back again.
So you'll notice right now I have 15 skill points. But if I go into quests,
There's a job.
you'll notice I have all of these quests. And if you look at the upper right, it says accept request or triangle skip request. And that kind of like threw me for a loop at first, but then I figured out what it does. So if you're looking at these, a lot of these are skip, but there is the Owlbear Menace, which does not have a skip. I have not completed the Owlbear Menace on my original character, but all the rest of these I have completed. So if you accept the request, normally it gives you all of these rewards, but if I press skip request, it says skip this request, you will gain skill points, but you will not get experience or gold. So if I say yes, boom, I get I get a skill point. I do have to go through the artwork, it seems like. But, I mean, I can do this all the way through. And obviously you can make this more optimal and stuff like this. But the point is that you can easily get a whole bunch of extra skill points off of this. And this is definitely a New Game Plus type of thing, because you do have to complete the request. But I mean, we're already getting a New Game Plus where we're getting a level 15 character and such. It seems like this is the most that you can do. Like, maybe after we do everything else, it'll unlock more quests. But for right now, this is the quest that we have unlocked at this time. And if you look into it, I have 26 skill points now. And that might be way more than I even can use for this. But the fact of the matter is that now, instead of having 15, I am only limited to what I want to put in. So, yeah. Like, my only limiting factor is my level. It has nothing to do with the skill points I need to allot or anything else. So yeah, that's what I was noticing. It's kind of crazy. You know what? I do have a I do have a train in the background that's going off. Thanks, train. I do have another character that's at the end of the game, but hasn't done quests. I'm going to go over there and see if by chance she can do even more quests. I don't think that would be particularly important, but I'm gonna take a look. So we got Rosemary here. And I'm gonna take a look to see, because I'm kind of curious now. This was something that I hadn't tested before. By the way, this is bunny hopping.
These secret
This is something that I picked up from Tetsuo.
land.
I'm sure other people knew about it as well.
You're back.
Learn skills. Or not learn skills. Quests.
There's a job.
Okay, yeah. So it's still only these quests. Let me complete a couple of them and see what it does. I'm also going to check to see if maybe I can check multiple of them, maybe? Can I do this and go skip? Okay, when you skip, it only skips the single one also. Yeah. You have to forgive me, I'm trying to go through all of these because I want to see if maybe it extends past there.
You have a request.
You have to re-enter it. Okay. So this is interesting. Because these ones we can actually take and clear as well. Okay. So now, this has become a much bigger video than I initially intended. I do apologize about that, but we're going to check one more thing then. So it does actually clear them out. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a new character.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to start them at level 15, and I'm going to clear them out and see if it actually still does that. I also forgot to swap my character. My fault. Can you tell this isn't scripted at all?
Ready. All right.
You need the 9 talismans to defeat the ancient dragon.
Okay. Let's take a
Samuel
look.
said he says he give if you feel like
So let's go into
There's
quests.
a request.
Let's do the quests again.
You have a request.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to find a more efficient way of doing this whole thing. Like I'm kind of stumbling over my hands to do this.
There's a job.
But yeah, it looks like more stuff gets put out, perhaps. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's see. Haven't finished Albert Mana, so we can't do anything with that. But that's all the base ones. Back out.
There's a request.
Yep, there's more quests that get added. So yeah, you can just, once you clear all the main ones maybe, or maybe there's some other trigger, but clearing most of the main ones allows you to get to the next set of them. Again, I don't know how impactful this is going to be. Like, perhaps we only want to do this a little bit. I would not doubt if it would be better to just do a little bit rather than the whole thing.
You have a request.
But this is definitely something to consider, and it does seem to repopulate based on these things. But I mean, if I'm just like kind of grinding through, like, so I don't even have all the quests completed. as mentioned. But that's a huge amount of quests. And I'm starting with 34 points. Like, I can do whatever I want. Like, if I want to go all in on Deadly Revolution, then I can do that easily. If I want to get some parry, I can go in on parry. I can go in on Punisher as much as I want. Like, this is... Like, this vastly changes the amount of build. Like, you no longer necessarily need a build. You just need to, like, dump points as much as you want. So with that in mind, that opens up a lot of potential possibilities for approaching different character builds. Yeah, it must be level 17. So as you can see, like, I've gotten basically every skill. And yeah, I've gotten every skill that I can use right now that's like key to the route. And I still have 12 points. So I could even look to branch out into like Warpaint, which is really good for Amazon. Iron Will for survivability. Incite Rage if like you got really good and needed the Adrenaline spec. Neck Splitter's definitely... Dang, Neck Splitter's useless normally, right? But I mean, if I can get it for free, then whatever. But yeah, this is kind of nuts. Not gonna lie. You could even use it to get... Now that I think about it, like, you could also use it to get the common skills. So, like, that now opens up common skills entirely as well. So now, something that would be, like, Y, like Vitality Boost, now you can just dump into it and get whatever you want. So this is actually, like, crazy. And something that we definitely should route around if it's something we want to put on the table. So I do see one downside to this, or one key downside. This is very powerful for online play, I feel, because everybody can do their menuing independent of one another. If we do it locally, I don't know how easily it would be to do, like, equips, spec out with skills, like how much more extra time it would take. I think it would be worth it, though, considering how much more you can dump into this, especially for characters that are really deficit on points. Like, for example, the Elf has a ton of really, really good abilities, but you can't go into them all with 15 points. With 25, you surely can. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to point out. Very strong. Hopefully we can implement it into speedrunning with co-op. We're just speedrunning this game in general, honestly.